For centuries, art has served as a psychological sanctuary. When we look at a classical painting, our brains naturally gravitate toward the harmony, the symmetry, and the careful visual order. These traditional compositions are engineered to guide your eye to a single, stable resting place. It provides the mind with a sense of relief and equilibrium. But that presents a significant problem for artists attempting to communicate the raw, chaotic realities of war, oppression, or severe grief. Rendering a tragedy beautifully is essentially a deception. It grants the audience a sense of peace where none should exist. So how do you solve that physical dilemma? How does an artist take the invisible, visceral weight of real human suffering and transfer it into the mind of an observer standing safely in a quiet gallery? To truthfully communicate pain, the artist must intentionally break the rules. They have to abandon visual harmony entirely and build an engine of disequilibrium, a structure designed specifically to transfer psychological strain. This diagram illustrates a biological circuit representing the Brain Kinematics Model. Within this circuit, the artist operates as a converter, translating invisible emotional data, like fear or chaos, into a physical, visual code that another human brain can read. Pablo Picasso's 1937 masterpiece, Guernica, provides one of the clearest historical examples of this strain transfer engine in action. This mural uses an architecture of exhaustion. Lacking a central focal point, overlapping bodies actively force your eye into a relentless cycle. Its monochrome palette strips away color, pulling the visual experience closer to the raw texture of memory. The subject's bodies are physically broken. These fractured shapes directly mirror the psychological fragmentation people experience under the weight of modern warfare. The visual architecture of Guernica functions as destruction itself, engineered to trap the observer in a continuous, unresolved state of discomfort. Artists can also break our equilibrium by weaponizing cognitive dissonance, forcing a collision between two completely incompatible realities. The artist Martha Rosler applied this concept through photomontage. During the Vietnam War, she took horrific documentary war imagery and pasted it directly into the pristine spaces of luxury American homes. When looking at these images, your brain struggles to reconcile the safety of consumerism with the immediate threat of distant death. That unresolved contradiction generates a high-strain conceptual friction. Now, consider the exact opposite approach. Instead of overloading the observer with chaotic shapes or colliding contexts, an artist can transfer strain by creating an absolute visual vacuum. In 1915, Kazimir Malevich painted Black Square. The piece deliberately removes all recognizable imagery, historical context, and narrative direction. Unloading our visual memory shifts the tension from emotional empathy to profound cognitive uncertainty. The viewer is suspended in a void and forced to actively search for meaning. Whether relying on chaotic visual overload, the sharp collision of contexts, or total emptiness, these artists engineer precise codes designed to successfully short-circuit our sense of comfort. To understand why these artistic codes matter, we have to establish the baseline purpose of documentation. Journalism and photography tell societies exactly what happened during an event, but documentation carries an inherent limitation. A photograph can capture the physical evidence of a destroyed city, but it cannot encode the internal, psychological cost experienced by the victims. This is the true value of artistic transformation. The artist sacrifices factual accuracy to answer a much deeper question: what it actually felt like. Without this transformation, the passage of time becomes a liability. As generations move on and historical context fades, the raw facts of a tragedy naturally lose their urgency. Political art serves as a cultural storage system. It preserves the emotional structure of an event, keeping the internal strain alive long after the original witnesses are gone. The next time an artwork makes you feel deeply uncomfortable, don't look away. That strain proves the disequilibrium engine is functioning, successfully converting private, historical pain into shared human empathy.